So you don't get to talk to a lawyer while you're on the side of the road trying to make the decision of, well, do I give this test? Do I refuse this test? And what are all the consequences? There's a huge new law change to Florida law that's going to impact how you respond to a DUI arrest. Specifically, whether or not you should refuse a breath or urine test after you've been arrested for DUI. So now, starting October 1st of 2025, you will face a criminal and civil penalty for refusing to submit to a breath or urine test, even if it's your first time. So currently, right now, you can have these penalties if it's your second time refusing a breath test, and now it's happening the very first time. So these are major changes that are going on. So I'm here to break down Florida House Bill 687, which was signed by Governor DeSantis, so it is becoming law on October 1st, and what it means for you and what's changing, how to protect your rights, and if you're ever pulled over for a DUI. Currently, and when the new law takes effect, you won't have a chance to consult with an attorney before deciding, do I give a breath test or do I not give a breath test? So of course, it's really important that you get this information now. I'm Attorney Adam with the Rossen Law Firm. Our firm is an award-winning DUI and criminal defense firm serving South Florida and beyond. We've helped hundreds of people, thousands of people, beat their DUI charges with a proven track record of success. We specialize in DUI and other areas of the law. Okay, I used to be a prosecutor, so I know exactly how they're trained, how the police are trained, and everything. And I bring that knowledge to you guys. So what's happening? On October 1st of 2025, Florida House Bill 687, also referred to as Trenton's Law, has language in it that will update Florida's implied consent law. Okay? It has many other amendments as well. We're going to talk about those in other videos, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to be talking about the consequences for a first-time refusal of a breath, blood, or urine sample. This law, or the implied consent, is only applicable after you've been lawfully arrested for DUI. Now, what happens if I refuse a breath, urine, or blood test currently, meaning before October 1st, 2025? So under the current law, if it's your first time refusing to take a breath or urine test or blood test, and you've been arrested for DUI, your driver's license will automatically be suspended for 1 year, okay? And that's through the DMV process. But it's not a criminal offense, meaning it's not additional criminal charges in addition to the DUI criminal charges. You'll have the civil penalties at the DMV, okay? And if you refuse a breath test in Florida, that can still be used as evidence against you in court, okay? But taking the test can also create evidence that can be used against you in court, meaning that if you give the breath test and when it's over the legal limit, because it's always going to be over the legal limit, and I've talked about that and all the problems with the breath test in other videos, that will be used against you in court, as well as the refusal. So these are reasons why having a great DUI lawyer is crucial, and making sure that you really understand these nuances before you get arrested. Now, currently, if it's your second DUI arrest and it's your second time refusing a breath, urine, or blood test, that's where you get the second crime. Okay, the crime is refusal to submit to a breath test, and it's a first-degree misdemeanor in Florida, meaning you can go to jail for a year for that. And then on the DMV side, your license would be suspended for 18 months. Now, understand on the DMV side, there's many ways to fight and beat those DMV cases, and I don't really want to focus on the DMV side too much in this video, because this video is really about the additional criminal charge of refusal to submit to testing. All right, so now that we've recapped the law, what are we all here for? We're here to learn about the new law changes starting October 1st, 2025, okay? So here's the big change. Starting October 1st of this year, refusing to take a breath, urine, or blood test, your first DUI arrest, first time refusing, it will be that additional criminal charge. And it's going to be a second-degree misdemeanor to be specific. So what does that mean? That means that you can get up to 60 days in jail, a $500 fine, and have all the same additional penalties with the DUI case and the DMV issues as well, as far as license suspension. So now it's two crimes in one immediately. First time arrested with a first time refusal. So you don't get to talk to a lawyer while you're on the side of the road trying to make the decision of, well, do I give this test? Do I refuse this test? And what are all the consequences? And it can be a very intimidating thing with the cops looking at you, reading from a card, threatening you with additional crimes, and people get terrified and they just don't know what to do. So again, that's why we're making this video, so you can really learn and truly understand what the law says. So what's going to happen if it's your second time refusing a breath, urine, or blood sample? Well, that's going to be now the first degree misdemeanor, meaning 12 months in jail, up to, that's a maximum, $1,000 fine. And you'll again have all of the DMV consequences with license suspensions and everything. So basically, the second time refusing is not changed at all. They're just making the first time that you refuse a breath test an additional crime as well. And that's going to put a lot of power in prosecutors' hands, a lot of power in the judge's hands to really try to force people who are arrested for a first-time DUI and may have a very good case to defend, fight, or maybe go to trial on in the criminal charge. It's going to put pressure on them to plea out, because you're going to have judges who are going to look at a defendant and say, well, look, you might win this criminal DUI trial, but it's very hard for you to win this criminal refusal trial. And oh, by the way, I can give you 60 days in jail for this, or you can plead to a DUI and maybe I don't give you any jail, just probation, but you'll have to deal with the consequences of a DUI conviction, which are very harsh penalties and can really set you back $30,000, $40,000 over a few years and start kind of a steamroll effect of all these other things that can happen to you. So that's how we're going to see it play out, in reality and practicality in the criminal court process, which is just a big leverage point to give prosecutors and judges more leverage and power against people like us, criminal defense attorneys, and you, which may result in less trials happening. Another thing to consider, you may have heard that it's better to refuse a breath or urine test as it can allow more ground to defend your case. And with the new law change, refusing these tests may land you in more hot water. Now, it can still give you a lot more options to defend your cases, but there needs to be that cost-benefit analysis. And these are great individual questions that your expert lawyers and yourself, should be having as far as how these things happen. So there's a lot of nuances to remember here. As DUI experts, there's still a lot of opportunities for us to defend your case, result in charges being dropped, reduced, or getting a win in court. But you really need to know, think, and strategize. Of course, it's always best to know these things beforehand, but nobody's ever planning on saying, well, I'm probably going to get arrested for DUI come October 15th, so I really need to know these law changes, right? DUI is a mistake crime. People don't plan it. But that's why we're always speaking and guest lecturing at places and making these videos so folks like you who are watching this can really know, learn, and understand the law. Now, the information in this video is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute legal advice. If you need legal advice, give us a call, 754-206-6200. We'd love to talk to you about your case or different situations. We can help you out. Above all, don't panic. Help is here. Stay informed, stay prepared. Getting arrested for a DUI, it can be scary, but it's easier to fight than you may realize when you hire the right DUI defense team. We have decades of combined experience. Our firm has handled thousands of these cases, and we help good people when bad things happen to help them achieve their best future.